Good morning. Good morning, sending you all some warm, positive greetings. So this early day, I just wanted to stop in, just to take just take a few minutes for some deep breathing and some relaxation. And the question in this early morning, contemplation, right? So we have meditation and relaxation, and what gives us access to that is deep, intentional breathing. And we also have contemplation. Contemplation, you are simply asking a question of your own divine, onboard, innate intelligence that each and every one of us, no matter who you are, was born with. Before you were tampered with, touched with, before people put so-called education in your head, all of us were born with a type of intelligence that goes beyond words, and it's communicating to us all the time. It's directing us all the time. At this time right now on the planet, we can't hear it, or we may ignore the subtle direction of our innate intelligence and our discernment due to all the noise and the messages that are coming at us at, like a tidal wave all the time right now. So we can start to cultivate an inner trust and an inner listening by slowing down and starting to make a practice of simple deep breathing. No big fanfare required, no big drama, no productions, right? And it's really wonderful to be able to start to trust yourself and your ability to listen in for guidance, because a lot of times we're so used to seeking someone else to ask for questions, and that's normal, that's human. However, there's a huge part of our intelligence that we are born with, that all of us have. So the question today in today's contemplation is, what if you chose yourself first? So if you're new to this channel, welcome. This is Body-Culinary. I am a classically trained professional chef, a fitness and nutrition coach. Some folks I don't think know that I've been doing that for many years. I'm also an author, natural born woman, and a mother. So all are welcome here to this channel, to this respectful exchange. Anything that I say here is not necessarily the truth. I'm just sharing one woman's perspective. I am not in the business of telling grown folks what to do. And I even meet that out very carefully in clients that pay me to give them direction. But I don't have the illusion that I am the magical healer. I provide, I'm a catalyst, I'm a coach, I provide objective insight and education, right? So anything having to do with starting a garden, for many, many, many reasons. Relaxation is also a big one. And I believe that it activates our inner intelligence, as well as calming us down and reconnecting us to nature, whatever environment you're in. Cultivating a personal movement practice where you find some movement done safely and over time that you can incorporate as your lifestyle from your 20s all the way until you're 100. Cultivating a personal movement practice that takes consideration of your age, any kinds of injuries that you may have, staying injury free, and also some enjoyment and challenge, right? And preparing and learn to prepare and getting some basic comprehensive education on high quality, nutrient dense, water rich, high functioning, peaceful fuel. See, we didn't have to say vegan, vegetarian, whatever label makes you feel comfortable, that's fine. But those are the types of things that I share in the folks that I coach with in my practice, Body-Culinary, and Going In, which is the cocoon, and also what I share on this channel. I also like to have a lot of fun. I'm also very contemplative, right? So that's what I share on this channel. So today, as I'm an early riser, so usually folks that are looking for me, I'm up very early. I'm a 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning kind of gal, and then also I move with the sun often to get many things done in terms of the garden. Again, these things, a connection to your garden will reconnect you to the cycles of nature, of which we are a part organically, right? And so there are many things that I have to do. So usually between 4 and 4:30, and then sometimes I'm more introspective and I come on a little later. Right now, it's, I believe, 2 hours difference from Eastern Standard Time. So if folks are looking for me, that's where you'll find me early in the day because I have many things to do. So I can't be on here all day, but I do like to share if I feel that it's something that may be beneficial. So this morning, in the quiet of the early day, I was just thinking, what if I chose me first? And sometimes a question I get a lot from folks is like, what does that look like? And I appreciate that question because I remember when my godmom, I speak of my grandma Lou and my godparents often because I'm so grateful. They're not the only ones, but they're some of the main people who I've known walking in the flesh who give me so many living gems that I still benefit from right now. Some key discerning gems that they just gave me a little nugget of. And I really encourage what I call freedom hair. I call it Afro locks. Different people come to this channel of different shades and different types of packaging. So, whatever your version of that is. But I really promote radical self acceptance because many of the things being sold to us, although they're smiling faces and packages, based on results and based on the anxiety you feel, if you don't have them, we feel there's like a sneaky suspicion that there's an undertone in advertising and things being marketed to us that somehow there's some low esteem in there. Sometimes there's a conflict of interest, and I'm a noticer of patterns. So I say to you, what would happen if you chose yourself first? And what I mean by that is over the tail and the retail that many of us are pursuing feverishly, that we're working um, day and night to garner the attention of, to purchase, right? The tail, chasing tail, and retail. Right. And so a lot of times we package ourselves. And I'm not going to make this wrong, right? But I invite a healthy sense of curiosity. What if you chose yourself first, just as you are? I mean, like really, like literally choose yourself. Like I choose you. I choose. What does that look like? I choose you. So again, the things that we want from other people, serve you a nice glass of water, feed you beautiful food, healthy food, beautifying food, to really take the best care of you. I suspect that if that is our mindset, not just saying empty affirmations, and affirmations can sometimes, quote unquote, not work if we are not in integrity. And so if I'm saying I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, and I'm eating something that, though it may be delicious, I know in the back of my mind that this is not in alignment with my goals, or I don't think or believe that this is healthy for me, then it's a conflict of interest. And there's a subtle depression, there's a subtle feeling that comes from that. But it's there if we really listen. It could be a subtle anger, it could be a depression because we're not doing what we believe in your quiet moments is the very best for ourselves. So, would that really be choosing ourselves? And a lot of this is on automatic pilot, which is why I think it's very important to slow down to observe our mental processing and get to the root of our self sabotaging behaviors, which is a lot of fear and insecurity. So I have found, and you may find different. You're always welcome to comment respectfully, in the comment section. But in choosing yourself and exercise, part of what that would look like is to sometimes walk with no makeup on, even if you have lots of scarring or acne or hyperpigmentation or all these perceived imperfection. This is the body temple, the vehicle that you have right now is going to change It sometimes it gets sick, and it's a blessing. It can respond to illness. It's very divinely designed. And your hair, you may feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have any gel. I can't go outside. Or I don't have this on. I can't go outside. I invite you to imagine that you choose you, that you literally choose you. See, this brain, this organism, this computer, is highly programmable. Highly programmable. And let me just take a moment to say, I don't see the chat, so I haven't figured that out. So I don't know what the chats look like on these videos. And if, by the way, anybody would like to support this channel, you're welcome to. I believe there's a link. I don't know if I put it in. The cash app for this particular channel is Kwasa Peaceful Eating, KWASA, Peaceful, FULL, Eating, right? So that's the cash app if you'd like to support this channel. In any event, in choosing ourselves, that means like just noticing like the knee-jerk reactions of judgment when we look at ourselves. So when we look at our skin, look at the skin has a mark. See, let me make a little distinction. If I say this is me, I have a mark, or the skin, my vehicle, has a mark on it. See, we start to identify with the thoughts, right? And it's happening in milliseconds. And this a lot of times can make us feel very dejected, and the programs and ideas of not being chosen. So choosing yourself, even that statement can bring up a lot for us in terms of these programs, these messages of not being seen and invalidated. All these negative and depressing emotions would go with not being chosen, your value, if you don't have children, if you're not in a relationship. Where do we get all of these ideas from? So I invite you just to try and emphasize choosing yourself, and what does that look like, and giving yourself the best care with what is available to you. I also invite you to use the breath as an access point to relaxation. Relaxation. See, there are these little things that we have access to that don't cost you anything. They don't cost any money. They don't cost you anything. No religion is required. No cults are required. You don't have to buy any products. I marvel at over the years, how many people have asked me to sell this and to sell that, and I've always felt like I can't sell that because I don't use it. I don't believe in it. It's not an integrity for me, and it's so I don't have the interest. So I've even had people tell me that that's foolish. Perspective, but I just don't have that for you. The things that are simple that you have access to, it's no one can take that away from you. And I invite you to consider that it could really be foundational. Just like the plants need good soil and a good foundation, otherwise they die without proper nurturing. That choosing yourself first before you turn on the internet, before all of this is why I'm so protective of the early day. Before all of this, it's almost like a noise that's like yelling at you, and then you can't hear your own discernment. You can't hear. This stress and this anxiety can keep us and be a large contributor to negligence, right? Because we're taking information and direction from the outside rather than the inside. All of us want to relax and be made to feel peaceful. And I just wonder about a society where we're constantly encouraged to medicate legally and illegally. Something about that I think is off. I find it's not natural. Even with the planting in the garden, and as I learn more, I say that the garden is the ultimate classroom. I consider it the first church. There's a difference between organic and inorganic fertilizers. And if you continue to feed an inorganic fertilizer to the plant, you'll get one result. And your plant will get its system, if you will, its digestive system, will become used to an inorganic fertilizer. And it'll be different if your plant is used to organic fertilizer. Isn't that interesting? And also on this channel, we talk about hair. And there was one subscriber that asked me recently, how do I moisturize? So I've had several videos. I share the links to those videos. So not right or wrong, but a different perspective based only on my simple experience. If it doesn't work for you, leave it right here. But and not having any oils and endeavoring or not having any oils and not twisting my hair. This has been a long time. I haven't twisted anything. Right? There's nothing twisted in my hair. I find that if your hair had a lot of oil in it, it will. I've heard it before. It will, I think, detox. Just like when your chemical relaxer, whether it's a jerry curl or a straight perm, when it grows out, there's two different textures. So all the hair that had the oil in it will behave differently than the spongy stuff that doesn't have oil and that's not compacted and compressed. Keeping in mind that this fine hair is like a sieve, and so a little different than loose natural is everything will get caught in it. So these are little subtleties. So you'll listen to your hair. There's a video on his channel that I shared. I call it like the Twinkie syndrome. It was, I think the video is I damaged my fine hair. And so my hair's fine. I was only using oil on it. But one day I woke up and I went to touch my hair and it felt like it had melted plastic on it. And that was me only using oil. So that's the first time I ever tried an apple cider vinegar, baking soda rinse. And I'm sure I damaged my hair. I did a big, nice big chop several weeks now, maybe a couple months now ago, because it changed the texture of my hair. So everything we do to the body affects it. Everything that we're listening and ingesting, it's going in our subconscious. It's all affecting us. So I have decided to take a lot of that off of the table so that I can get some peace and some relaxation, if this makes sense, right? And I invite you to consider your body, even with the best care, is going to change. It's going to age. We want vitality in the body. We want peace in the mind. So I find just in choosing yourself first can be huge, can be really huge in grounding you in that process. So that being said, you're welcome to take a comfortable position, perhaps in a chair if you have issues with your knees or your back. And make sure you tilt your pelvis up. You want a lot of space between your ear and your shoulder. You can also sit cross-legged on the floor. If your hips are very tight and your hips are very high, you can sit on a yoga block so that your hips start to open. You can gently take your belly button and pull your belly button, pull it into your spine a little bit so you're supporting your lower back. And we're just going to deep breathe. Another question recently from a subscriber is, do I have any instructional videos on deep breathing? Actually, if you did a playlist called Relaxing and Mini Medi, then I think there are 2 videos on that channel that are more instructional, right? So it's very simple, but I don't take anything for granted because I know what it's like to go to meditation classes, yoga classes, even fitness classes back in the days. And people are using terms like engage your latissimus dorsi or work your psoas and your quadratus lumborum. And I used to be thinking, like, how are people that are coming off the street supposed to know that? So I don't take any of those things for granted. So if you look at that playlist, there's several videos, and I put the link, I believe, in the community tab on my whole take on moisturization. My hair does not feel brittle at all. It's very soft. But to make those distinctions, right, because you may be retraining your eyes to not using oil and to not using conditioner. There's an instructional video on the cucumber thyme rinse, some options to rose oil. See, I like to take a lot of stuff off the table so we can free up the bandwidth, so we can just be more relaxed. So that being said, we're going to deep breathe through the nose. Your eyes can be closed or your eyes can be open. And we want to synchronize the breath, being mindful of whether or not your inhale and your exhale, if they're kind of even. Usually it's easier for us to exhale than to inhale. It takes a bit more conscientiousness, right? To be a little bit more aware. The whole purpose is just relaxation. And more than likely, the more you do it, you'll start to notice almost like a screen of thoughts that are going on constantly of thoughts. And so you can kind of distinguish the relaxed part of your essence from the thoughts that are going on automatic pilot. So you're welcome if you like to join me in some deep breathing. All right. So again, when you go through your deep breathing, it's a good time to ask a question of your own divine, on board, innate intelligence that you and I and every human being was born with. Every single one. Every single one. And you can ask a question like, is there anything that I need to acknowledge? Is there anything that I'm overlooking? Is there anything I need to pay deeper attention to? This is also a good time to write a few words or a few lines in your journal, perhaps something that you're working on or working through, advice, or if you're seeking which direction to go. It is really something to start to turn in just as much as you turn out and you ask for outer advice. it's somehow it's not balanced if we're not cultivating a trust within our own selves. You're born with an intelligence. You're born with an intelligence. It's communicating all the time, and so if that trust is not there, that is something that we can cultivate. Right. So I'm inviting you today to choose or consider what would happen if you chose yourself first. Right. You want other people to choose you. Do you choose you? And I invite you to explore, what does that feel like? What does it feel like? What kind of actions go with choosing yourself? Like, I choose you. I choose you. So when you choose you, what do you feed you? How do you talk to you? Your communication silent or loud in your mind. So what do you feed you? What kind of activities are activities that you really want to enjoy while we are here on this side of the dirt, in this plane of existence. I don't know about you. I don't really know what's going to happen on the other side, but I'm here now. How do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? So if I'm so busy and desperately seeking out for everybody else to choose me, that's a lot of distraction. You are with you all the time. So why not choose you first and choose to love up on you and your skin and your hair, how you popped out onto this plane of existence. Everything that you have was divinely assigned to you. So with that being said, you're welcome. Again, if you'd like to support the channel, for those that have asked, Cash App is at Cross of Peaceful Eating. Some of the offerings that I have for men folks, that I see there are men folks on this channel too. There's something called Healthy Eating for Men. There's a food emergency, like what are you putting into to go bag, right? So I'm one of these people that has always thought of emergency preparation. And shout out to those folks that are in St. Vincent that are experiencing a natural. The Mother Earth is doing her thing. So I know these are things that we don't like to think about, but as someone that consumes whole, fresh, unprocessed foods, what would I do in an emergency? So there's an emergency workshop, and there's also food preservation and preparedness, because I choose, and I'm not going to make it wrong for those that do, I choose not to eat out of a can, because part of what I'm eating for, a big part of what I'm eating for, is life force, for vitality. I'm consuming for vitality, longevity, for beauty, and for my mood, right? So for me, I prefer not to eat out of a can. So that's why I'm big on the ways of the mothers and the grandmothers, learning how to manipulate the whole fresh ingredients and to flip them every which way to Sunday, right? So there's emergency food preservation and preparation. And these are practices that I do all year round, emergency and now. This can also help you to manage your spending plan, as well as really knowing what is inside of your food, which is a big setback for many that are looking to get more energy from their weight and allow their body to balance out to a natural, healthy weight. So there's healthy eating for men. There's whole living foods in the hood. That is something that I put together with some visuals to see different types of spending plans, whatever your budget or your spending plan is, and ideas. If you're eating whole, fresh, unprocessed foods, I'm giving some ideas of things that I would prepare, and you can alter that. That's not recipes, but it is a lot of, I think it can really shortcut many people's process. If you want some insight to what I've been doing all these years, along with me taking some actual photos. One of my family members' suggestion, who always said, people don't understand what it is that you're eating. So I'm not eating a bunch of, and I'm not going to demonize it, because one time I did TVP, tofu, a lot of processed stuff and preservatives. I'm eating fresh, whole, unprocessed foods, and that there's a huge distinction with that. There's also natural beauty, no products. So I found one of the pictures of my hair before it locked, of new loose naturals, and I believe that comes up on the thumbnail of this morning's video. So you can see how I really manage my hair as someone that with very fine hair, the loose natural. When I say now I have a little length, I can wear some of the styles that I did before as a loose natural. So all this to say, I'm working with what I've got, right? Appreciating my own eyebrows, my eyelashes, because I know not appreciating, when you don't appreciate something, usually it is removed from you, right? When we don't appreciate our organs and our skin, then, we don't have them. anymore. So hopefully that picture shows up so you can get an idea of what my hair looked like as a new loose natural and how I maximize, again, the fluffiness of the afro. So in all to say is this is all an exercise in me deciding to choose myself first. So y'all enjoy your Sunday. If you want some smiles, you're welcome to check out Sister Butterfly and Sister Monkey Learn to Eat Better, 9 and 10 free episodes. They're teeny tiny episodes, and also Kwasa with a K. Kwasa Peaceful, Full Eating on TikTok. All right, see ya soon. Oh, and like the video.